Hi, and welcome to this channel. If you've not seen me before, my name is Renier or Renier. I am putting together let's do this, it's my first go on the YOLOBox Pro, a multi-camera pre-production little video to show you what I do, and I can fade that back out, that is so cute. To show you what I do, because one of the things that I specialize in is multi-camera video production. Now, very often we work with SDI cables, which are fantastic, and it's the industry standard still for broadcast, and you can put massive amounts of stuff over that. But that is being replaced by what you would call computer cable, Cat 7, Cat 8, whatever Cat is, and a lot of data can be pushed that way. But in the corporate, smaller version of events, we work with, I know I shouldn't say this, HDMI. It is, HDMI. It is magical for your 4K television and your Skybox or whatever you watch things. Other services are available. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about a project that I've been asked to do. Now, I don't often get the chance to talk through my boxes. I know a lot of people want to look at what you're filming with. So I'll first brief what we're doing. But I think I'll start by playing on this machine, which I think is changing my mind about a lot of things, the YOLOBox Pro. And yeah, welcome to this not studio. You'll see a halo above my head, which I think is the first time ever. But yeah, this is my table in my dining room, because that's where all the boxes fit and my studio is busy. So I was asked to put together a multi-camera mix, a series of multi-camera mix for a young doctor called Chris Grieco, and he wants to do a chat show interview type style thing, and it is called, and look what I can do, this is so cute, let's see if I can do that, IR with Lola, interventional radiology, which is absolutely magical. And the company is called Dottir, D-O-T-T-I-R. Go there and go look at it. If you're a medic, look at it. Chris has got such great ideas, and it's got a great team. And I'm happy to be part of this, so I was quite excited. Oh, yeah, this is me. Look, Rainier Media. I do video and photography, and I should get that space sorted, but I'll do that. Rainier van Loggerenberg. I run a company called Rainier Media. So I'll show you the little clip which was filmed on this thing, the Insta360, let's do that, which is the X5 or the version 5 of this, which again Chris is quite keen on, and it has changed my mind. Let me go back, USB, fantastic. It has changed my mind about 360 because 360 is grainy and it's nasty, and it's sort of used by people maybe a third of my age, right? Going down hills and falling into water and kite surfing and doing wonderful things, and they're not grandfathers and I am, so I need to look after the bits of bones that still work. So this thing looks astonishing. I mean, when I got it, and I got it for this project, Chris said, I want to have an immersive experience, and I kind of shoot mostly flat video, you know. And then I looked at this and I go, wow. It's the audio. This is magic, right? If you were even 20 years ago saying this was going to be what I'd be interested in, I would go, no, it's a fad. It's going to pass. But yes, I'll show you quickly. It has many modes, but we shot a flat version in wide angle, and you'll see where we're going to film next week. A series of programs called Lola Learns IR, interventional radiology. And it's not a big room. It's not much bigger than the space I'm in. It needs lots of lighting. He's using all kinds of ways to explain things. It's a series of 10 times 15 or 15 times 10 videos which need to be repurposed. So we're shooting in 4K. One of the many reasons I shoot on Micro Four Thirds, and here we have the second joy of my life, which is the GH6. Now, I know you don't like it, probably, right, if you've worked with it, and they're going for this camera, cheapest chips on on eBay, and again, there are other marketplaces available. But it is basically a GH7 with really rubbish autofocus. So if you shoot a lot of rig stuff, a lot of studio stuff, you're going to pay less than $1,000, I think, for this now. And it does exactly. It really, let me do that. It has all the funky things that the GH7, I've also got a GH7, but it does all the funky things of the GH7, and it is just such a fantastic camera that I think if someone can write some software for it, if you remember Magic Lantern for the Canon 550D or something, to work on banding and all kinds of challenges that this has, I reckon this is still going to be a blast to work with, and they're going to become cheaper because Panasonic, shame on you, you have discontinued this. And I don't know if that's forgivable, but yeah, I'm shooting this on a GH5, by the way, with a Rode little baby mic on top. That's on eBay being sold because, yeah, I'll show you. So let me show you the video quickly of what we did. Okay, this is Chris. He's our presenter doctor. He's making bodies,
yeah,
or things that are bodies.
Some phantoms.
Phantom
some ultrasound
bodies.
Phantoms. So
okay, with grapes and things which are lymph nodes.
potentially, yeah.
Potentially, okay. Just the kids.
Indeterminate.
Yeah, things that you need to bypass and biopsy, and the blue straws are going to be.
These are going to be blood vessels.
Blood vessels, and the pink ones.
Just
All right.
figuring out.
How they're going to go through.
Yeah, nearly there.
Okay, we'll do that. So, lighting stands, cables, always, tripods, spare light. The SLRs are there. If I film this, you'll see a 1x1. There's a 1x1 there. There's a slightly wider one there. This one reflected on there, so if we film again, we need to make sure that it's not in angle. There's a GH5, which is going to be a close-up over there. This is a GH7, which is going to be our wide shot, and our main audio, which is on a Rode Wireless Go 2. This is a G9 with a 25, which is sort of a shot over the table, so we can cut between that, little ring light just for fun. And then the ATEM Mini Pro ISO with hard drive, little headphones, not using the Stream Deck today, in a nice case, which I haven't used before. And on this stand will go what we need, Insta360. And that's that. And that's that, as I just said. Sorry, I was listening to myself. That's so cute. Yellow Box Pro, I'll talk about it at some point. I hope they don't fold like many of these companies. And it's got a few issues with it in terms of dependability, but then so has what I normally shoot on. So yeah, you've seen the space, you've seen some of the, it was a proof of concept video that we shot. So to show Chris what I can do, basically, because it's the first time I've worked with him, or maybe this will be the start of a lovely friendship, but also to show what the gear can do, and to take out all the cameras and lenses, because if you do still work, which is also what I do, you take 2, maybe 3 cameras, and to see what the 360 does. And so far so good. I will properly learn. I've shot 360 before, but I will properly learn how to edit this. So I'm going to talk through the gear. Let's cut back to multi-camera pre-production and cut to where we are and take that off. Okay, there we are. So yeah, Insta360. It's going to be on a stand. We don't quite know where we're going to put it yet, but it is such a versatile thing that you kind of put it anywhere. Baby tripod and a stick, and that's that. Let me put that away. Okay, I've spoken. I'll put that in this box, which is lovely. Get yourself some of these hard boxes or soft bags, it doesn't really matter. They protect your gear if you go out. They're just fantastic. They really are. And they last, and they last, and they last. I've broken one bit over. I've done this for longer than most of you have been alive, I think. So, let's go. Hello. Let's go to the audio box. Now, this is an audio box that I'll take with me on many different shoots, and it's sort of varied. With every multicam, with every project, of course, there are compromises at some point that you have to make. Now, Chris lives next to a airfield in Cambridgeshire, and there's a lot of commercial flying, not in the Heathrow vein. So what are you going to record on, right? Is it going to be little shotguns just out of shot that will pick up every single thing, or are we going to go with the rotor again? And when we tested it in proof of concept, the little rotor mics worked well. But this is the box that will go with me everywhere I do audio. So let's have a quick look at what's in there. I'll pop it onto there again. Dead cats, little rotor on a lighting stand, which is kind of super perfect to just, you know, pop it anywhere you want to have it. I just love it. These are muffs and clips and all kinds of paraphernalia for different occasions. And then there are lavaliers, which are just beautiful, aren't they? They really are. Big fan of Rotor. They don't pay me. Nothing they've sold me, and I have plenty of their stuff, has failed. Okay, cable, XLR cable, reasonably new acquisition, the NTG4 Plus, which I've tried out, and I must tell you, this will be my go-to mic, I think, for so many different things. I'll do a bit of a review. I know it's been reviewed 100 times, but I'll do it in practice, because what people do is they go screaming to it, and yeah, I'll go to a market or something and stick it on a camera and see what we get with 32-bit floating audio, which is what my GH7 can do with that little box on top. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's cut back to this thing. So excited. Okay, it's got basic paraphernalia with it. This is what we're going to film on or to record on, which is the wireless Go 2, all charged, all the extras, everything you need. Probably going into the GH7, I think, just because it gives me extra stuff. Don't know if I'm going to be using the NTG4. More mics, more Rode, and audio is kind of there. All right. I will tell you that audio is probably more important than video, so I really hope at this point, because I'm not listening to myself, that I am recording beautifully. Put the box over there. This will be, and let's see if I can get a shot of that at some point. If I move this way, I'll hold it up. See, look at that. This will be my monitor. Now, the Yellowbox Pro, 1080p, 3 inputs, and I've got a webcam coming in, so 4 inputs. Would be a possibility to record for so many reasons. It's got so much going on. You've seen some of the overlay stuff. And this is the box, or the case, an old Case Logic case that it comes in, or that I carry. And if I'm traveling internationally and I have to do something small later this year, there's a wedding in South Africa, which we hope to attend, and or we plan to attend, but you know, the world might lock itself down or something stupid again. So this will be what I'll take, and 2 SLRs and a webcam, and I'll have 3 cameras, so I could perhaps make a gift of a wedding for the couple who we dearly love. Okay, now we come to my big baby, my newest toy in the, well, not newest, I've had it a few months. And this is just spectacular, right? The GH7, it is a Sony killer for 100 reasons. And with the ARRI that you can download for $100, $200, which I haven't needed to do, and 10-bit onboard recording, and all the other wonderful things that it does, I reckon for the buck, this is as good as you're going to get. So I shoot on 128 cards, for the simple reason that cards do sometimes fail, and then I have a Alexa CF Express B. I think it's a B. I've got 2 of those. But this will be the main camera because of one specific thing, and that is the DMW XLR2. Now, I would love to use this all day long because of 32-bit float audio. I don't know if it's quite going to work for this project. So I have it, I love it. I'll take it with me with the Rode NTG4 Plus, and I'll decide on the day. It's one of those things, you know, one of those many things that you have to decide on. Okay, let's go back. So, a very old monitor, the Bon D7, which has been with me for a long, long time. This has never let me down. It gives me nice enough to look at if there was another camera operator. But because I'm a one-man band, in this case, it might not be possible. So, GH7. I'm not going to show you the lighting boxes, the grip boxes, because in the one-man band world, you are also your own grip, which is wonderful and dreadfully sad, because you do become a jack of all trades, and you'll master one maybe someday. And because I shoot both video and photography, I can never give myself out as someone who's mastered any of it, but I think I've shot stuff that's sold and stuff that people have liked, so there's always that. Okay, big box time. Let's see if I can get that on this camera. Here we go. Oh, big box. So 42.5 Lumix might be the best lens, I think. 1.2 Nocticron that I have. Just for Japanese word, bokeh, the separation of the person and the background. I don't even know if I'll be able to use it. It's just, it's a beauty. I love it. I wish I could use it every day. First G9. This has got a 7 Artisans 35 on. It's 35 1.4. Good for bokeh, you know, really nice for that. And it's full manual lens, really not expensive. Just have one for all kinds of situations, including low light. All mounted. These have all been checked, so they are loaded, they are locked, they are charged. Here's a beast. Don't you love this? The 1235. I think this is the version 2 f2.8. I come from a world of, well, originally Olympus, Nikon, Canon, Sony for a short while, and then because they took ever so long to go digital, got rid of that and went back to Canon because of the 60D and the 7D, which were beasts for such a long time. And then Canon, because I do both things, nothing wrong with Canon, but they got caught up by these guys, Panasonic, who were in South Africa, where I'm from, also RANs after Sony in the sort of broadcast business, which I come from. But gosh, with the GH4, GH5, GH6, now the GH7, in the Micro Four Third Wheel and their S series, which is just remarkable. This lens would, in almost any other format, be what, twice as long, maybe 3 times, and heavy. I have a neck injury, so lighter is better and smaller is better, and I can defend the quality of Micro Four Thirds against most things. The other one, the other half, the 35-100, love this lens, take it anyway. Okay, so between these, I have everything covered, except here's the other beast. I'll pop it on there, on the other camera, which is the 12-60, which if I needed one lens only, if I could only take one lens with me, this would be it, because my camera could possibly fulfill the rest of it. It's just beautiful. I just wish it was f2.8 throughout. I know about 1550 and all those things. I don't have them yet. Okay, also in the box are spares of everything. Cables, plugs, filters, everything that you need. Okay, I think in terms of big equipment, that's that. 2 little notes, battery box. Mine are marked. These can be used on both, obviously. So they're marked, they're in order, they're charged, keep that waterproof away from my gear. And then, just because I have run out of batteries once, okay, yeah, that's hopefully not going to happen again. And these are the new BLK22 seats, so on there, which are specifically for the GH6 and GH7 if you're shooting in higher frame rates, really high frame rates in 10-bit, which we will not do on the shoot. The rest is stands and tripods and scrim and all kinds of things to make it happen. One little thing which I picked up on a YouTube video a while ago, which kind of really works for me, is, let's see this is a horrid one. They're still there. So they're all named in there. I mark it 1080p because I know they're safe for 1080p. I've also got a 4K box for this. And on this side, it's empty. So everything on this side is I can use completely. Of course, for this gig, I've cleaned up all the memory cards because I don't know how many I'll be using and how much. When you do the sums, you get all kinds of fantastic numbers. But these are, so I keep this. This goes in my box, and everything is fantastic in there. And now we come to the raison d'etre for the fact that I do affordable multi-camera stuff, because you know you can do multi-camera stuff at BBC rates, which is completely stupid. So let me stick the camera on, and here we go. Are we in focus? Thank you, Mr. GH5, sorry, you're doing wonderful work. In the Nanook 915 case I have, wow, okay, so again, reasonably recent. I have a version of this in a case that is sort of 3-4 times the space. You've seen it. Let me bring up a still of it in action. There we go. So you can see the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. You can see the 4 cameras, or 3 cameras in that case. Was it 4? See Chris with the lighting, and you can see all the information that I need on there in a tiny, tiny box, which I think is absolutely spectacular. We go back. So the ATEM is in here. There's my 1 terabyte drive. I have another one of it. Not using the Stream Deck for this, but it's absolutely spectacular. Under here, which is at this point not screwed down because I'm busy doing stuff, is an i5 computer. I'm not going to show you much more than that. And I have a position monitor, however you pronounce that. It was cheap. It shows me what's going on. It's HDMI. It fits into this lovely orange case, with some Sony headphones to help me listen to what I'm doing. So I've used this for a number of events, games, all sorts of things, and this is the smallest I can get it, right? Okay, I'm taking the, this is the smallest I can get it. I keep it bright orange because I have lots of black boxes, so if you travel, those are not as visible, and this reminds me to collect it. It's exceptional, but I need a computer to do graphics, to do the macros, to do the deck. So the Stream Deck is spectacular, especially if you do live events with credits or scorecards or all kinds of things. It is very dependable. It is the second one I've got, and the other one didn't break. It's just in a bigger box. So I adore it for what it does. It has shortcomings, and quite recently I picked up this thing. So let me put that away for a second, and I'll come down here, and this is the Yellowbox Live, and it's got my 2 shots. So it does what that does mostly, plus and minus. Okay, we understand that. They talk about being dependable and not being dependable and that sort of thing. But it does an incredible amount of stuff in basically a Android tablet. What bothered me is the fact that I only have 3 inputs and 1080 output, as is the case with the ATEM ISO. However, in the ATEM ISO, because it's Blackmagic, they're very clever, but it's an exceptional company, and in the ultimate world, I'll probably have Blackmagic studio cameras to do a lot of this because they just work better with this. But what they give me, which means I can use my 4K footage, what they give me is a DaVinci Resolve project on the ISO, right? So it records the main program onto the external hard drive. It gives me a DaVinci Pro project file, so I can re-edit the 1080p, I can stream it, I can cut it, I can add what I want to, or I can replace the shot, the actual footage, with the 4K stuff that comes from the GH7, GH6, whatever else I'm filming on. So if this gave me an XML project file, right, and please, YOLO Live or YOLO Live, please, I ask you nicely, if you can at all, for this or the Ultra or whatever else you're doing next, if you can give me a project file, an XML file, which I can stick into whatever non-linear editing program I have, this would be it. You know, I would seldom need to take the orange box out, although I love it, and it took some trouble to put together, you know, a bit of thinking. So we are multi-camera pre-producing. I love it. I just love it. My name is René van Loggerenberg. I will put a space in there. I apologize for that, or I really don't, because it was such fun playing with it. And I hope to see you soon once we've done this. So see you later.